Hello, this is Everton fan 77 with another kind of an episode in this series. I'm not sure whether I can call this a series or not, but it's turning out to be like a series, the Where Will He Go series. And today I'll be talking about Gonzalo Higuain from Real Madrid, a player for me who's a bit of a mixed bag. Sometimes I watch him and I see the brilliance in him, why he's highly rated amongst world football. And then some other times I watch him and I'm just thinking, surely Real Madrid can get a better striker than this guy, one of the most prestigious clubs in the world. What's he doing there? So basically, as per usual, could you please leave a comment with what your opinions on the matter are? I love to read everyone's opinions, and it's always a good way to interact with my subscribers about real life football. So, moving on to the first club which he could be going to. It is a bit of a surprise. It has come out of the blue from nowhere to raid another club's bid. It is Juventus. Now, rumours are that Juventus and Real Madrid have agreed on a £22 million bid, or is it 22 million euros? It's in some form of currency, 22 million bid for Higuain, and they're actually into contract negotiations now. I'm not sure whether that is true or not, but if it is, there is a lot that could go on at Juventus. I'll start to talk about that right now. So there is a lot of competition up front for the striker role. Juventus generally play with two up front, and you have the likes of not all these players always play as the last man striker role, but they definitely can, and it will always cause competition for Higuain. So these players are Giovinco, Nicolas Anelka, Quagliarella, I cannot pronounce his name, Matri and Vucinic. So some very good players there. The ones in the latter stages are normally Juventus' strikers. Matri and Vucinic are two fantastic players there. Yeah, they're two great strikers, and it caused Higuain a lot of competition for that main striker role. Although I will think one of them would have to make way for Gonzalo Higuain, because he's the world star. Sometimes I disagree that he's viewed as a world star, but amongst world football, a Real Madrid striker who scores a fair few amount of goals, also an 85 rated overall player on FIFA. You can't forget that as well, even though EA can actually muck up some of the ratings by a lot. But he's still a star player, and I think, especially if a manager signs a new player for £22 million, he'll want to play in first-team football, especially to start off with. And I think one of those players will have to make way for Higuain, and that's provided they stay with the same formation and have two up front. If not, we could see Higuain play as a lone striker, even play with two sets of wingers beside him. So I'm not sure whether they'll juggle up their formation, shall they sign Higuain. But if they don't, he has a lot of competition. And if they do, he has even more competition if they play with one striker up the front. Either way, he's got a lot of competition for that first place striker. And yeah, you could actually see Higuain change position over the course of his career if he joins Juventus. I'm not sure what will happen there. It's a surprise move, no one's really had time to prepare themselves over what will happen. So Higuain join this club. Also, a bit of a newsflash here, Isla could go out of Juventus as well, so that could open up a position for one of the strikers or one of the attackers to slot in there, which would cause less competition for that striking role. That's if Juventus don't go for another player if Isla leaves. Now, moving on to the second club, one that's been linked for him for quite some time now, and originally the favourites to sign him, it was Arsenal FC, Premier League, or former Premier League giants, I guess you could say. They're still a very popular club. Most people know, have heard of the club of Arsenal. It's a very famous club, and I'm sure everyone who's watching this video who's a football fan definitely knows who Arsenal is. I'm not going to just ramble on about a club, even though I already am, called Arsenal, because, yeah, they're one of the world's biggest clubs as far as the fan base goes. Anyway, moving on. So Arsenal have been linked with him for a number of, I'm not sure actually how long, but he's been linked for quite some time there. And yeah, basically what will happen to him if Arsenal play with the three up front with two wingers, that would leave room for Higuain to slot into that striking role as basically kind of a target man, and it would cause a lot of competition between him and Giroud for that starting place. But the other things could happen if they could play with two up front again, and even include Theo Walcott as a striker, which he has done he's done a fair bit this season. He's played really well in that striker position. So you've got two great strikers already up there, Olivier Giroud and Theo Walcott. So that would definitely cause some competition for that first place striker role. But a thing that Arsenal have missed over the years, now that Nasri, Van Persie and Fabregas have gone, And then before then, it was back in the Invincible days. It was just a world star in their club. They're a very solid team. They've got some very solid players, but they're lacking a world star, which I kind of talked about with Higuain before. So having Higuain at the club would cause a lot more publicity, and having a star at the club might have a bit of an impact on the other players. He would cause a lot of media attention as well. So having him just for the mentality side of things might be good as well. It could be bad as well, because other players would feel more competition, and the competitiveness might actually override over the club, but between the players. But you never know. I can't say that for sure. I'm just listing some possibilities that could happen with Higuain. But if he arrives, it could be a good thing or a bad thing for the mentality of the players. So I just want to open that side of the tale as well. But anyway, moving on. How he would play at Arsenal, I think in the Premier League, I'm not so sure whether he'd be a good signing. He's played decently for Real Madrid over the years he's been there, but I can just see him getting smashed by, I don't know, maybe a defender like Gary Cahill or someone, just completely destroying him. A rough and tough English defender in the Premier League, a very competitive league, the most competitive league in the world, in my opinion. I'm going to see Higuain getting smashed in those leagues, and yeah, I can't see him being that well. He could prove me wrong if he joins Arsenal, but I just don't see him having a huge impact at Arsenal. Even though he is a world star, I just can't see him being a success there. You already have Olivier Giroud and Theo Walcott up front as well, who've proven to be quite good over the season as well. Yeah, two great strikers up front, and I think Higuain Arsene Wenger would give him a fair chance early on at his Arsenal career, but I've got the feeling that if he did join Arsenal, he wouldn't score goals, and then towards the month, maybe October, November, will actually be benched again. And yeah, I'm not exactly 100% sure if that would work out. He could prove me wrong and actually play really well, but in my opinion, I can't see him being a success at Arsenal. I'm sorry, but it's just not working for me. But then again, as I said before, he could always prove me wrong. Now, moving on to the third and final option is him staying at Real Madrid, and that would be the worst case scenario from Higuain's point of view, in my opinion. Higuain's point of view, in my opinion. That does not work at all. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, Higuain, fantastic player, but he's not always, but in most cases, he's actually been second place to Karim Benzema. And when you're a club of Real Madrid's caliber, you've got a lot of money flowing through. You're going to want to buy the world stars, and I can just see Higuain slipping down the food chain, and actually maybe even resulting him as like a fourth choice striker or something, because Real Madrid like to play with one up front when Benzema plays. Benzema's kind of a target man, even though Ronaldo gets all the goals for Real Madrid. And yeah, I can just see Higuain slipping down the food chain at Real Madrid. Arsenal and Juventus are great clubs. They play some great football. They could rival Real Madrid in a match, but on a world scale, the money flowing through, Real Madrid are that step higher, and Higuain would not get as much game time, in my opinion, if he stays at Real Madrid. Also, maybe if someone like Cristiano Ronaldo goes to Manchester United, while that would leave a vacancy in the team, it's not in Gonzalo Higuain's position, and it would be sold for a hefty price, and they want to buy some world stars to fill in that gap if Cristiano Ronaldo does leave. So, as I said before, I can only see Gonzalo Higuain slipping down the food chain if he stays at Real Madrid. I hope in his case that he can actually get a move to Juventus or Arsenal. Even though I've said that I don't think he'd perform that well at Arsenal, I would like to see him come to the Premier League, a huge follower of the Premier League, and I'd actually be really interested to see how he plays if he does join Arsenal. I hope he does prove me wrong, but as I said before, I can't see him performing that well. But that is my opinion. Also, leave your opinions, as I said before. This has been Everton Fan 77 with a bit of a news flash. Subscribe to my channel if you already haven't for some transfer information and some FIFA gameplay as well. And I will see you, hopefully with some more FIFA gameplay coming soon. But if I don't have the time to upload a FIFA video soon, I will be back with another news flash, because these are really good and easy to make as well, and that saves me a lot of time. But that's not why I do it. It's great to interact with my subscribers as well, and it's always good fun to make these videos as well. And it's when I don't have the time to upload FIFA videos, this is a great substitute, and it's great doing these videos. And I'll be back with one of them very soon as well. So this has been Everton Fan 77. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you soon.